Good day, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. A warm welcome to you all. My name is Maria Gay Shraibu, and I serve as the Global Program Manager for High Income to Wealth. Well, on behalf of Dr. Wesley Ogude, our lead consultant, I would like to warmly welcome each and every one of you today to this webinar on financial intelligence for creating multi-generational wealth. So whether you're joining us for the first time or probably you're a returning member of our community, we truly are delighted to have you join us today. I'd especially like to extend a warm welcome to those of you who have recently joined our high wealth community. Thank you for becoming part of our growing network of individuals who are committed to learning, growing, and building lasting wealth. Once again, I welcome you all to this free webinar. And please, as you join the session, please mute your mic so we don't distract.
52 Baba Galana Jib Hamsa Ashering.
Please mute your mic. Ibrahim, John, please mute your mic. All right, okay. So before we go welcome our lead consultant, Dr. Wesley, I want to do something quickly because I know we have a global audience. I know you're joining from different parts of the world. So please, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves in the chat room. So what you do for me is just write your name, the city, and the country you're joining from. Can we do that quickly? You know, it's always exciting to see different parts of the world represented in our community. So I want to welcome you all especially. Let's see, I'll be checking the chat room. Oh, wow, welcome. Oh, thank you, Wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, welcome. I see Amal Marvelous from Nigeria, Kwame from the UK, Chizoba from Lagos. I see Lord from South Africa. Welcome, 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 Gilbert from Kenya. Welcome, Joseph. Marion from Ghana. Olufumilayo from Canada, Theophilus, welcome. Wow, Rudy from Morocco, welcome everyone. You're all welcome. So quickly, I would like to read the profile of our lead consultant. That's Dr. Wesley, so we can just go quickly. Like we mentioned, today we have a very special guest. When I say special, very special. So I want you all to just sit back and relax because today we are actually in for something we've never imagined would come to us today. So I'll share my screen right away. Okay, Wesley Ogude is a global wealth consultant and the lead consultant of the Springwells Group of companies with operations in Canada, the US, and Africa. With over 25 years of experience, he is committed to helping high-income professionals, executives, and entrepreneurs across multiple continents build true, enduring wealth that outlasts income and creates legacy. Wesley holds two MBAs, one from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and an executive MBA in global business strategy from the Queen's School of Business in Canada. He empowers clients through proven strategies rooted in the four core asset classes that drive lasting wealth, including equity, tax planning, and other diversified vehicles, all guided by the strong global perspective. Named one of the 100 most influential Black Canadians, Wesley also holds multiple prestigious designations, including Chartered Accountant, CPA Canada, CMA USA, Chartered Banker, and Certified SAP Consultant. A decorated community leader, he has been recognized with the Black History Award by Toronto Police and is a passionate mentor committed to equipping the next generation of wealth builders worldwide. So with ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, virtual round of applause, can we welcome our lead consultant, Dr. Wesley Ogude, as he takes the stage. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Wesley. You have the floor, sir. Welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'm muted. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Welcome, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Can you imagine?
You're welcome, Dr. West.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. It says to me that this meeting is at capacity. I can't join. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. I will get into the meeting now and get started. As soon as I can get into the Zoom, I will get started. But let me just welcome every one of us. Is this at capacity? So how many of us are on the Zoom call?
We have 100 people.
100 people, right?
Yes.
So why do you say I'm at capacity? Okay, just see that. Give me that. All right, thank you, everybody. Let me give it a try again. I was actually joined on my phone. I want to transition to my distance so I can give you, yeah. Okay, so we will need one or two participants to drop off. Let me see.
If I can join on YouTube.
I can join on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. No, you mean one or two participants can join on YouTube.
So you may be able to join this meeting if some participants leave. Okay, so we need a few participants to join on YouTube.
One person dropped, so you can join now, sir.
Okay, can you, all right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. I'm super excited. We do have a lot to cover today. Excuse me. We have a lot to cover today. Okay, we still need one more person too. I still can come in. Wow, we maxed out capacity? That's interesting. Wow. All right. Okay, I'll come
Can you
again.
try now?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in now. Hold on. Okay. Still say capacity. Okay.
Try now again.
All right, that's okay. So that's a problem to have. It's a good challenge. We don't run away from challenges. Okay. What I'm going to do, it's still giving me that we are out of, how many people are there now?
So the interesting thing is that I keep putting some people in waiting room so you can come in, but people just keep joining in. So I guess you might have to just use the ED's camera. Yeah.
Okay, so the ED is on she's on phone.
Oh.
Okay, don't worry. Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Oh, you're in now.
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So Maria, you can start your recording now. Thank you, everybody. I'm super excited to join you this afternoon. This is usually one of the best moments of my life. Believe me, honestly, it is usually one of the best moments of my life. And you're like, yeah, that's really where I am with material things in the world. While we don't have all the wealth in the world, another car will not really excite me. A bigger house will not really excite me. That's the truth, right? And another five-star hotel will never excite me. But what excites me is the opportunity to impact other families like somebody did for me. So I'm super, super, super excited. I'm going to share my screen and then we get right into it. All right. So let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. All right. So we are talking about financial illiteracy today, and this is very dear to my heart. And the reason why we chose this topic is that some people make some comments that made us as a team, when we were debriefing, made us to see that, well, some people need help because they are confusing financial literacy. They're confusing it with professional and academic literacy. And that was one of my biggest issues. So I want to welcome every one of us. I want to re-echo. We're talking about 10 symptoms of multi-generational financial illiteracy, and then how to mitigate it. That's what we're talking about, okay? Maria, how much time do I have? So I know how to breeze through this, okay? All right?
You have 50 minutes, sir.
I have 50 minutes, okay. All right, so let's get into it. This is designed for all of us, like our global program manager said, around the world, to help us to transition from high income to wealth. And for those who are already creating wealth, to help you to accelerate your speed. Okay, the wealth creation game, and money game generally is a team sport, but it is played at different levels. In fact, that is what makes money a game. Games are played at different levels. You can play soccer locally, you can play soccer, regionally, you can play World Cup. So it's the same with wealth, okay? Right, so everybody can see my slide, correct? Maria, can you see my slide?
Yes,
Sorry,
we can see it.
you can see. Good. So let's get into it. We have a loaded agenda. The first thing I want to share with you is the overriding thought. What is exactly are we trying to communicate? Tell me, what is the elevator pitch? That's what we used to call it in my MBA days. What is the elevator pitch? In other words, if I see you in the elevator, 30 seconds, tell me what you're trying to communicate to us. That's the overriding thought, okay? And then we will go from there. I will clarify confusion, because this confusion kept me kept me. You must have listened to me. Some of you have listened to me in podcasts saying, my lovely wife told me that we were not wealthy, right? I was confusing, the type of academic and professional intelligence I had. I was confusing it with financial intelligence. They're two different things, okay? And if you don't understand the difference, that person is going to struggle financially for the rest of his life, okay? Now, so we're going to cover that. Then I will take you through the folly of trying to play basketball with a golfer's skill set. You will understand when we get there. Then I'll go quickly to tell you, strategic role of a partner in a family business. Then I will, at that point, bring our guest speaker, who is going to cover that line. And then I will come up and then I will continue my narrative. I will show you the 10 symptoms of multi-generational financial illiteracy. The next thing is that you will be able to assess yourself. The poll, you will take a poll, and then we will go on to look at the playbook, and then we'll talk about the cost, what multi-generational financial illiteracy will cost. Okay, I paid that price for many years. And then I will show you how to mitigate that. And then I will show you some example of how to mitigate it. Then we'll take a break and then I will come back for the question and answer. So let's quickly go through it. Number one, overriding thoughts. So what are we trying to communicate very quickly? Number one, here's what we are communicating. I want all of us to please repeat this after me. Please, you can unmute and say it. Overriding thought. Academic and professional education will not solve money problem. Can you say that?
Academic and professional education will not solve money problem.
Academic and professional education will not solve money problem.
The world is full with such education. The world is full with people with such education who have no wealth to show for it. Can you say that?
The world is full with such education
with no wealth to show for it.
I'm very sure there's nothing to argue out to debate about that statement. The world is full of it. Okay? If you listen to my last podcast, which some of you listened to, that's how you got to know about this. I was saying that I saw myself in Robert Kiyosaki's poor dad. His poor dad was academically endowed, PhD holder, but he lost the money game. In fact, by the time he was dying, he cried, he wept. He and his son wept with his PhD. So I don't need to elaborate on that. So if you are here, you have PhD economics, whatever you've been, financial controller, CFO for many, 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 many years. But you still depend on paycheck. You are not financially educated yet. Take it from me. Be humble enough to accept that, because that was my situation. That's exactly what we're trying to communicate today. And we're trying to say that it will continue for multiple generations. If you don't understand it and break away from it, your children will inherit that mentality, okay? And that was what happened to Robert T. Kiyosaki, okay? He almost inherited his poor dad's mentality until he met a rich dad, the dad of his friend, who exposed him. That man did not go through, he didn't even go through, university. I'm not saying university is bad. I'm not saying that I'm just saying that there are two different things you need to understand. We have a vision, is to empower, families, 100 million families. Today, our objective is to celebrate whatever you have accomplished. We're not making light of it at all, but we want to inspire you to see that there is much more, and we want to provide you some solution, and we want to ensure that we are able to help you when we have. Let me quickly clarify the confusion. Agenda number 2, the confusion about different IQs for different problems. You need to listen to this, please. If you don't take any slide, take this one. Different types of IQs, financial IQs, solve different kinds of problems. The most confused people about professional and academic education, who confuse it with financial literacy, are the people who are in the E quadrant. We have covered that in our previous webinars. If you have not watched that, if I'm talking ES quadrant, I quadrant, and you don't understand, go to our website, our YouTube channel, okay, highincometowealth.com. You will see, you'll be able to watch the previous one, so that I don't keep repeating myself. So And if you are not understanding what I'm saying, it's an evidence that you still need to learn some basic things about financial education. So go back to those things. They're all completely free. Okay. We have other things that you can join and pay and training and all that, but we have provided enough free thing to get you started. So the most people who are confused are academic of this. They are confusing financial and academic education are the people who are in the E and the S quadrants. And I'm a classic example. Okay. They are in the money game. If you have not read, Winning the Money Game with Dignity, I'll come to it before we finish. You have to get a copy of it because you will get a comprehensive understanding of what I'm trying to communicate in just about an hour. Okay. They are the category of, in the money play, they are called analysts. Those are the people who have CA. I have a CA. So there are people who have CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. I was an analyst for many, many, many years. There are the people with MBAs. You had the profile. I've been to 3 business schools in my life. There are the people who have PhD. They are the CFOs. They are the finance director. They are the stockbrokers. They are the investment bankers. They are the lecturers. They have this mentality that they know everything about money. But see, in the world of money, it is not what you know. What tells us that you have financial intelligence is called your net worth. What is your net worth? That's it. What's your net worth? All of this intelligence, professional education, and academic education, they will land you squarely in the E quadrant to be working for money. As long as you are working for money, your financial education is low. You be humble enough to accept that. That was one of my biggest challenges. The day I accepted that was the day I got liberated. And I was ready to now say, okay, what is the price? What do I really need to learn? And it changed my life completely. So they are the people. So let me break it down for you. There are 4 types of intelligence. Number 1, you have academic intelligence, academic IQ. That was the father of Robert Kiyosaki. You've had my own story too. I was best student overall. When I finished my A-level, I was best student in school. I graduated. A lot of first-class people, okay? I'm not despising it. I'm just saying that your academic IQ solves academic problem. It helps you to get good grade in school. And that's it. If you ever confuse that with financial literacy, then that person is in trouble, like I was in trouble for many years. Number 2, professional IQ solves professional problems. If you go to our YouTube channel, you will see medical doctors, you will see your medical doctors, professional, vice president, and you will see them there. They have professional skills, they have professional qualification. Engineer, medical doctor, that is not it. That solves professional problem. So if you're a lawyer, your law skills and knowledge solves legal problem, okay? But not money problem, okay? Scientific IQ solves scientific problem. So if you're a researcher and all of that, you solve, but that will not make you wealthy. What makes you wealthy is financial IQ. It solves money problem, okay? So the first 3 are found in most families, but the last one is hidden because of what we call the law of secrecy. It's hidden away, okay? This is the core of our presentation today. So let me go to this. The folly. You see, winning money with money and creating wealth is a team sport. If you don't have a team working for you, you can never be wealthy. Not that you will not, you can never be wealthy. Okay, let me emphasize it again. You can never be wealthy. The reason is, it's a foolish assumption that because you are a skillful golf player, you will be able to now use that game, that skill of golf to win basketball. That's what you are trying to do. I went into this extensively in my book. You see, a golf player has skill. So this is Tiger Woods. But golf is played by one person. When you are working, when you have an employer, when you have an employee, you are a golf player. Because you are the only one working. You are the only one. You are a golf player.
But to be wealthy is that you have to be a basketball player. Building wealth is basketball. Having high income is playing golf. Now, if you want to use golf skill to go and win basketball tournament, okay, it's a folly. Why? Because of 5 things. I will just mention 4 and I will go, okay? Number 1, golf is played by one individual. Basketball is played by a team. You earn income and get to the top of the ladder in your place of work by working alone for your own career. But for you to create wealth, you need to have a wealth team. We covered that in our foundation cohort. Maria will speak to it later. Okay? Number 2, the rules are different. The rule for you to be a successful employee is quite different from the rules to be an entrepreneur or to create wealth. They are very, very different. So golf rules are different from basketball rules. Number 3, the language is different. The language you speak in golf is different from the language you have to learn the language. For example, there are 4 asset classes that create wealth, and those 4 asset classes have language. They are business, real estate, commodities, and paper assets. They have different language. That is not going to work. Going to work as a medical doctor has a different language. As a lawyer, has a different language. As a CFO, it has a different language. But when you come to those 4 asset classes, they have a different language completely. So it's a folly to try to use your academic and professional knowledge to want to use it to create wealth. You are like somebody who is trying to use golf skill and golf. The tools are different. You are trying to use golf skill to win basketball. Completely, that person will fail. Now, does it mean that golf skill is not useful? It's useful. This guy is an authority in his own right. Tiger Woods, but Tiger Woods can't get into basketball courts. He will not even survive because they are 2 different things. Now, let me quickly go here. Strategic roles of a spouse in a family business. A family business is like a basketball, and there are players, and you have to have some strategic partners. On this note, I'm going to turn it over to Maria. Our guest is going to talk to us about what it means to be a partner in that equation. All right, Maria, over to you. Introduce our guest and she will come up.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Okay, please, I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay, Remy Wesley Ogude is a seasoned entrepreneur, wellness advocate, wealth consultant, and transformational leader with a passion for helping individuals and organizations achieve sustainable success. She holds a degree in nursing from the University of Toronto and began her professional career working in leading healthcare institutions across Canada. She also holds a BSc in finance and an MBA, and has worked in financial institutions in both Nigeria and Canada for several years. This unique combination of healthcare, finance, and business expertise has given her a well-rounded perspective on personal and organizational growth. Having relocated to Canada over 2 decades ago, Remy experienced firsthand the challenges of building financial stability and creating lasting wealth in a new environment. Determined to overcome these obstacles, she immersed herself in extensive research, training, and mentorship in the areas of finance, business, and wealth creation. Together with her husband, she successfully transitioned into entrepreneurship, co-founding and leading businesses across multiple countries. As executive director of Springwell Groups of Companies, Remy brings a unique blend of healthcare expertise, financial acumen, business leadership, wealth consulting, and personal development experience. She's also an author, a public speaker, and a mentor to many globally. So with a virtual applause, let us welcome Remy Wesley Ogude as she takes the stage. You're welcome, Ma.
Thank you so much, Maria, for that warm and kind introduction. Hello, everyone. It's such a joy and honor to meet you all and share with you today. And I want to really appreciate God and my dear husband, the CEO, for such a privilege. I do not take it for granted. I also want to thank all our Springwell's staff and team members. I'm starting with my adult children. I want to appreciate them. They are not here now, but they are well represented by my husband and I. And I want to thank our global program manager, Maria, Simeon, and other people who have been working with us in the background. We may not have the privilege to see them here as well, but they have done an amazing, extraordinary work on this platform. So we're so very grateful. And I want to thank you all, the community members who joined in today and who will be watching later, for being part of this journey. I can't wait to share your success story. Today, I'm just here to do one or two things. I'm going to be speaking to us about the presentation I've put together. It is titled The Strategic Roles of a Spouse in a Family Business. And I'm going to start with our overriding thought. I want us all to echo, just the same way you echoed when the CEO started. I want us to do exactly the same. If you can, please unmute. Let's read together. 1, 2, good. Please unmute. It is good to create wealth.
It's
faster and more rewarding to learn how to preserve
But
our
it is
family
far
and
smarter,
legacy.
rewarding to learn how to preserve
can pass on the
pass
wealth
on the wealth legacy. More
pass on the wealth
legacy. Sorry, did I? Exactly. Thank you so much. Now I want to start my presentation. I will be talking to you from a woman's perspective who has been in the journey with my husband for well over a decade. Doesn't mean it's not important for you as a man to listen to me. Very, very important. As long as you have a female figure in your life, and I'm sure you have many of them, your mom, your sister, siblings, aunts, your female staff at work, church members, wherever they are, please, I'm appealing to you, share this with them. In fact, before I forget, I want to leave this phone number, 437-607-5043. If the person is not in Canada, can start with +1. It's so very important to share the knowledge I'm going to share with you. This is the first time I'm starting this, and it's going to continue for a while. They will thank you for it. I'm going to repeat the number, 437-607-5043. And if the person is not in Canada, should start with +1. Why is that important? We're talking about the strategic role of a partner in building family business. And I've just told you that I've been in this business, and I'm talking from the overflow of my experience. I've been in the business with my husband for over 10 years. Not only did I join him, I pulled my children along. Why? Because I had legacy in view. Now, you have heard over and over that wealth creation is a team sport. If it is a team sport, the very best next person to team up with is your spouse. All things being equal. I know that there are times people feel it doesn't work for them. But if you get the best strategy, you know how to go about it, it is very, very profitable to go into partnership with your spouse when you are starting your business, whatever it means. So if we're talking about that, what is number one thing that your partner must do to be able to help you thrive together in that journey? That first one is what I call aligning with your partner's vision. I'm going to be there for a while. I'm not going to rush it. Today, I won't spend so much time. When you're aligning with your partner's vision as a wife, I'm talking as a wife, and I know we have women there. Also, like I said, you have other women that you can share this with. You must be an active partner in the whole game. Your partner shares the vision with you. You know, when we talk about, if I go back to what Warren Buffett said, he said, if you do not learn how to put your money to work when you are sleeping, Warren Buffett said that you're going to work for money for the rest of your life. Who wants to do that? Please, does anybody want to work for the rest of his life until he dies for money? No. If you want to transition quadrant from left side of the quadrant to right side, you must be in this community and learn how it is properly done. And pull your wife or your partner. If you are the visionary as a man, pull your wife. If you are a visionary as a woman, pull your husband. And how is that done? Now, I want to go just use one or two illustrations to portray my points. If you want to exit or you want to transition, we're not asking you to just go and give your employer, you know, tomorrow I'm resigning. No. If you are moving from left side of the quadrant, which is either employee or self-employed, you are saying that you want to transition slowly and begin to go into the right side by being an investor, a business owner, either of the two, it is a vision. Assuming you're a doctor, a medical doctor, or you're a chartered accountant, you have climbed the ladder and you want to involve your wife in the journey, having shared the vision with your partner. It's not automatic that your partner will say yes if you don't land it well, right? That's why you need to know how to do this. At times, your husband will say, your partner will say, okay, let's do it together. At times, she may say, no, I don't want to do that. I have a predictable, a job that is predictable, as in my earning, and I know that I also have other responsibility, domestic, taking care of the children and other things. So she may not be on board initially, or she may just be a taker. Go ahead, I'll be supporting you. And she's drawing from the proceed of the business. What do you have to do as a man at that time? Encourage your wife. But I want to talk to the women. If you do that and you allow your husband to single-handedly, you know, start the business and continue in the journey, in the short run, it may pay you. You may have time for other things that you really want to do, but you are not having legacy in view. You are not going to build wealth with your husband in that way. And in the long run also, such a woman will be at a loss. I'm telling you from experience. Like I said, I'll be using a lot of illustration from real experiences to practice my point. By the grace of God, my husband and I, we have traveled so far and wide, different continents to present and at conferences, Europe, North America, Africa. Every time I speak after my presentation, I have had a lot of women coming, shedding tears of regret of what they should have put in place or what they should have done that they did not do because they didn't know better. I'm not blaming them. You know, I've been there as well. You know, like I said, I'm also still a work in progress learning, but I had to start somewhere. And that's why I can't hide this. Now, if, like I said, that woman who refuses to start the journey with your husband, I'm going to use an illustration, refuses, in the short run, it's okay. But in the long run, she's at loss if anything happens in case of emergency. And I'm going to use this scenario. I have experience of two women who had exactly the same, they were in the same situation. And they had completely different outcome. Two of them lost their husbands after a very brief illness. You know, death does not knock. One of them, fortunately, has started the journey with the husband. You know, they had a sizable portfolio of real estate. She also did not join the husband. She had pulled the children along. So when the husband passed, it was at the conference, you know, she ran to me after. And I was speaking like this, you know, talking about uniting your family. I can't remember, uniting your family through family business or something. And she came to me, started weeping, telling me about her deal, her predicaments. But that, thank God, she had knowledge about the business. She could take it from there, but she needed to scale up the game. So she came to me for mentorship and wanted to enroll in our company. That's one woman. Thank God. She did it well, and she was able to get the support she needed. The second woman had the same experience. She lost her husband, but she told me something after I started engaging in conversation with her. And what she said has never left me. That was one of the very wake-up calls. that made me to take our journey so very seriously, as in partnering with my husband. Of course, I had started earlier, but that also became very, very instructive. So she said, my husband spoiled me. 4 words. Those words, they never left me. The husband had passed away. I'm not sure. I don't like to castigate the dead. I'm not sure why the husband did not involve her, or maybe she was overwhelmed, or things happened and she could not fit in. But he said she was completely lost. She didn't even know where to start. Thank God she had family who actually supported her in that season of her life. But what am I saying? I don't know. If you are hearing me, you're a husband. That's why I said I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, but it doesn't mean that you cannot gain. Please, I'm appealing to you. That's why I send that number. I don't want to forget. You will do your wife good by bringing her to learn how to do this, because it's very devastating. Our experience was not palatable at all. Now, the second thing, before I round up later after this second point, I'm going to conduct a poll, but I want you to listen to this. That's the second wake-up call for me. Still on the same point, aligning with your partner's vision. I read a book a couple of years ago after I started, we started in Spring West, my husband and I. I just wanted to learn more. I read Robert Kiyosaki's book. I even read the wife's book. And I stumbled into one of the wife's books. And the statistics she shared was very staggering. That's another wake-up call. She said, more than 50% of women who were widows became poor after their husband passed away. They were once rich when their husbands were alive. He said, after their husbands passed on, they did not have any knowledge of how the wealth was even created in the first place, not to talk of multiplying the wealth or nothing. So their financial destinies were left at the mercy of financial predators. Banks will come, exploit them. Business advisors will come, exploit them. Even family members will cheat them. Why? They had no knowledge of how the money. They didn't even know the way to bank. I'm telling you, some of this, I miss them. I'm talking about real life experience, not only what I read from the book. What I read from that woman's book just buttressed what I've been experiencing, and it's still ongoing. So while we are very passionate in this community, we don't want anybody to come tomorrow and say, my husband spoiled me. We don't have any husband who is spoiling your wife here. You love your wife, fine. But if you are pushing back anytime she wants to do something, be in the kitchen, run the home, do this, face your career, you don't want to get that after. You say, she's the reason why. My husband is the reason why I don't know what I should have known, like the other woman I was telling you about. Now, I'm going to take a poll here, and I want either Simeon or Maria to please help me. If you are hearing me, you are there, and you are a woman, and we can flip it if a man as well. You know, I told you, it depends on who is the visionary. If you're a woman, if you are the one that conceived the vision, your husband is the one, the supporting spouse, until both of you, you know, gain the knowledge adequately to be able to run the business together. But if you are also a man, it's your wife. So, but I'm talking from the woman's perspective, so I want us to get it right. You can also participate in the poll. What am I asking? If you are there as a single, either you have not married, but you aspire to do business with your husband because of some of the things we're going to be sharing. That's why we're conducting this poll, to know if you are here in this community, how many are there? Is it worth our effort? And we know because of the experience, we come out about our content based on the experiences, the challenges, the struggles of the people we are meeting, as we go out, as we meet people, as we come to our consulting fair. That's why we're conducting this poll. Please cooperate. So if you are there as a single person, you aspire to get married tomorrow, and you know that you want to go this direction, I want to join with my husband and be part of him so that we can start the business together, and our legacy journey begins right now, because it's the next person to me. As a woman, fine. And if you are also there, you think, I have done it before. I've been in business with my husband. This thing does not pay. it backfires. It almost ruined our marriage. I met people like that physically, like at conference, tell me, no, this doesn't work. We had to teach them how to do it. I'll give you an example. There was a time when we had a lot of people who were coming to the consulting business. And of course, the CEO and I, we normally split it. He would take some, I would take some, one-on-one. And this particular client came and brought the wife. He told me that the reason why he brought the wife, because I asked, why is it me that you chose? Say, I chose because I've spoken to my wife over and over. It has already brought a lot of heated arguments, and she's not listening. So I feel that if a woman like you would take us on this journey, she will listen. True to it. It's the consulting session was meant to span over 6 to 8 weeks. For the first 2 weeks, when I started, this woman went to town, started looking for houses. The husband said she's never, her mentality just shifted. So when we're talking about team sport, you need a team, and we're saying that the number one team member is your wife because, of course, she's the closest person to you. But it doesn't mean it happens automatically. If that man had not resorted to that wisdom of getting someone to talk to the husband, to the wife, to coach, sometimes you might need that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's it for every case. There are different cases, of how husbands go about this. Some wives are very, very like, just tell me what to do, I will do it. But it's not in all cases. Some will still argue, they won't see the reason, So that's why we want to take the second poll. If you have started that journey and you are so frustrated, you are backed out or you have walked out of the business because it's bringing a lot of argument, you want to do it the right way, there are strategies. I want you to put number 2. So we have 2 polls. The first one, number 1, is for those who want to do business with their spouses. They've never done it before. They aspire to do it because they have heard that it's good, it's profitable. They want to learn so that they will not do it and it will not backfire in future because they are going to use as appropriate strategies. That's number 1. Number 2 is meant for those, it's just indicated by 2. The first one indicates by 1. You can put your country or whatever. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to. That's fine. You just want to know the numbers. The number 2 is, yes, I have done it. It backfires. I don't mind trying if I know a better approach. Please, can we quickly conduct that poll? Simeon, please help me. Let me know the number for the number 1 and number 2. How many people are in the first category? How many people are in the second category? And then I'll say a few things before the CEO comes back to continue the session. Are we gaining anything? I need your responses. Or we are busy putting in our numbers. Okay. Maria, can you tell me or are they still working on it, or Simeon, whoever is available?
Okay, from the chat room on WhatsApp, about 20 people voted yes, that they are aspiring to run. Okay. The question is, are you aspiring to run or already running a family business with your spouse? Okay, 22 people said yes. 3 people said no. Then 2 people said still considering.
Okay. Can you let me know those who have done it? It has backfired and they have walked out because they think it doesn't work. I need to know those people as well. I've tried it before. It did not work. It almost ruined my marriage. So I back out. I don't know if I want to do it again. Can I please know? Thank you as I continue. Know why this is fun, like I said. We don't just bring content. We want to bring content that are impactful, that will transform your life. Because I am looking forward to your success story, right? There's nothing that gives us more joy than that. As I'm going to close, today is a day that we are focusing on legacy. It's kind of a continuation of what we have begun. I mean, what you have seen online and what the CEO started with. And when we're focusing on legacy, there's no way you will not talk about your wife, your family members. It's been said that when you teach a man anything, you have taught an individual. For that man will do justice and make sure it teaches the next person. And that was my husband in my own case. He taught me very well. That's why I can sing it. But he said, when you teach a woman anything, I'm talking about legacy now from another perspective. So you have taught not just an individual, a community, you have taught a nation. Why am I here? How many nations are represented there? Many. I don't know how many, but it taught me. Guess what? I started passing the legacy to my husband. It was to my children. It was so sweet that I could not contain it. I did not, it was like, come. It's not going to be easy. It's not like as soon as you want them, please join. No, there are ways and strategies so it doesn't backfire like the experience I had shared with you. After, I didn't just share with my children, because legacy is not just about your immediate family. Legacy is what you live on, live for your generation after you have gone. I've written books, 6 books on Amazon. I've written on intentional financial independence. I've written on basis of real estate, many books on different other subjects. I'm not going to speak to that now, but I'm intentional about passing legacy, and the reason why I did. So I'm going to continue. If you teach a woman, that's why it's important not to leave your wife out, or wife not to leave your husband out. You have taught a generation. Can you now see? After I started with my children, I started with my children's friends. After my children's friend, I started speaking. Before I knew it, I don't even know how they start calling for conference. I was just getting calls, right? Come and speak from the experiences. So legacy is beyond you. You involve your children, your spouse first, your children, and begin to spread the word. That is what we are doing in this community. I heard of a story of a man who was going to pass on legacy at his deathbed. And he told his son, said, listen, I put everything I have, my possession, my inheritance, in an email. Please do not open that email until I pass. And true to it, it was after he passed that they opened the email. What if all the things in the email, they could not get the document, they don't know how to do, they have a lot of questions that could not be. I don't know how many people are here who want to pass on legacy like that. Or the children have no idea how most of the work that the man did will just be wasted because they couldn't even get it. My husband wrote in his book about his dad. He said he took them to a land in a very strategic location in Lagos. And he showed them, this is my land. They didn't know that this man would pass away after that. That was the end of it. The man passed on. No document to follow up, nothing. He left legacy, but they could not access it because it wasn't well passed on. That's why we say it's good to create wealth, but when you have legacy in mind, it is more important, to involve the people that matter in your life, to pass on the legacy, not when it is too late, right when you're starting. So when I was intentional for me to share that phone number with you, Maria and Simeon too will pass on the link to our community. Let's learn together. Call them. Don't wait. I will learn. I'll be sharing with you. I told you of the guy that came. Said, no, I brought my wife and I chose you because I've spoken to her and she did not listen. And just 1 week of experience. I don't know who I've come for today, who I'm speaking to, but please remember, you don't want your wife tomorrow to say, my husband spoiled you. You might not do it intentionally, but when the chips are down, the women regret and say, why? If I had known. And I don't think that should be our case, not after we have come to a community like this when we are being taught on how to begin the journey. So on this note, I'm going to round up the action plan. I'm going to leave with you. So please think, reflect on what we have said. We have just begun. This is just point 1. I have many points under this. Legacy, how to pass it on and everything. So when you go, reflect, do I want to go this direction? Which direction? And when we come back together, we'll be able to take the journey for that. Thank you so much and have an amazing time with CEO. I'm also eager. I want to learn from him because I keep learning every day, every time he talks. So I'm yearning to learn as you are hearing.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, baby. Thank you, everybody, for that. Thank you. Please encourage my baby. I want to see reactions in the
Yeah, thank you. Please, electronically just appreciate her. Thank you. I'm seeing in the comments or in the chat room. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. You know that what she said sounds familiar. If you have listened to me in podcast, that's exactly what she did. I wasn't listening. GDP of the UK is 3.9 trillion. He told me that we were not wealthy, and I was offended, right? And so she understands that people may start at a point where your partner is not getting what you're saying. And to be very honest with you, she was really at some point, she was frustrated. But she didn't give up. But if she gave up, we wouldn't be here. Think about it. By God's grace, today I speak and 10,000 people listen in a day. Podcast, my average podcast, 10,000 people view it a day. If not for this woman who just spoke and her persistency then, when she was persistent, her persistence then. So thank you very much, baby. All right, thank you. We are going to get, so that's the agenda item she just covered so well. And let me get back to, we'll go back to my next agenda item, okay? So we've covered that, strategic role. There are a lot of things that we're working on. Once we know the people in our community who have different kind of needs, we will be catering for those needs. Of course, by now, everything is not going to be free, and I don't think you expect it to be. But as much as possible, we will make things that people can, afford to be able to afford. So let me go into our next agenda item. I want to speak to 10 symptoms of multi-generational financial illiteracy. If these things are in your life, please, I want you to write them down because I'm going to cover 5 here. And 5 is going to be covered later in a boot camp that is going to be a paid boot camp because we're going to spend approximately 1 whole weekend. We'll do a deep dive. You would have taken time. Half of that day, you have to block it off. But today I will introduce you into it. Now, write those things down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because after it, I will ask you to vote whether those symptoms are in your family. If they're in your family, there are symptoms that family has multi-generational financial literacy. But let me first disclose to you that at some point in my own life, all of them were present. All of them. Let's go to that. What is it? Look at it. We are going to cover 10 symptoms of multi-generational financial illiteracy. Number 1, no wealth building team. You don't have a wealth building team. You saw when our ED came up, she was thanking our team members. Our global program manager is a member of our team. Okay, we have another member of our team here. Simeon is a member of our team. They are in different countries than us, but they are a member of our team. Okay, so there was a time in our lives that we, as a family, we didn't have any team, wealth building team. If that is in your family, there is nobody, or everybody in the family is working for somebody, nobody is working for you, then that is a sure sign of multi-generational financial illiteracy. Okay. And the people that are in the E and the S, okay, the E and the S quadrant, if I'm talking to you and you don't understand it, it's on page 100 of Winning the Money Game with Dignity. You will understand what we mean by E, S. It's extensively explained there, okay? So, and then more importantly, it is even deeper when you go into our foundation cohort. Again, Maria will speak to our foundation cohort. We spend extensive time covering those things, how to build a team, how do you spot them, how do you build them, what are the challenges, how do you overcome the challenges of building team as a team member, and so on and so forth. It's covered extensively in our foundation cohort. But if you don't have a team, okay, your father didn't have a team creating wealth for him, you didn't have a team, all he did was he worked, and there's nothing wrong with that. He just worked for someone until he retired. He worked for government until he retired. You two, you're now working in oil company. You're an employee. That's a sure sign that there is multi-generational illiteracy in that family. Number 2, the parents are ignorantly breaking all the rules of the money game. And they pass that mentality to the children. One of the rules in the money game is the rule of measurement. Another rule is that we have covered that in this, at least on the surface, we covered it in a free webinar like this, okay? And the reason why we do the free webinar is at least those who cannot afford to maybe afford the services and things like as at now, at least they are still growing. They are growing, but you need to get into a training like the foundation cohort and be immersed into it. By the time you come out, you are talking, you have clarity. But the parents are ignorantly breaking the money rules. They are breaking it. And then the children don't know any better. They break it too. If you keep breaking the rules of winning the money game, there is in that family, there is multi-generational financial illiteracy. Typically in that family, everybody is working for 9 to 5. Okay. It's a typical, there is multi-generational. I have clients who tell me, oh, my father used to be, the CEO of this. My father used to be there. And all they too aspire to be is to become a VP. And there's nothing wrong with being a VP. Go to our YouTube channel. You will see VP, you see SVP and all of those things. Those are not wealthy people. They are rich people. They are not wealthy. Being rich and being wealthy are not the same. Okay. And if you don't know the difference, it's also a key symptom that there is multi-generational financial illiteracy, okay? So if people in your family, all they do is to do 9 to 5 until they retire, and you too are on that trajectory, and you are going to pass that over to your children, then there's multi-generational financial illiteracy in that family. Number 3, no plan or experience of exiting the E and the S quadrants and to transition into wealth building. Okay, there are some transitions that must happen. Somebody must take the lead. By the very special grace of God, my wife and I, just like you heard, we have the privilege of pioneering that in our own family, okay? And now our nephews, our nieces, when you become, just like our ED said, when you become financially literate in a family, whoa, you are gold. You are real gold, because you will influence so many people. And today, that's what gives us the greatest joy. But if there is no plan for that and there is no experience, in our foundation cohort, we cover it step by step. The timeline, what you should do within each timeline. You don't want to miss that kind of extensive, this thing in the foundation cohort. Maria will talk about the foundation cohort in details. So then number 4, please make sure you're writing it down. Number 4, no family age-appropriate life insurance, or you have used a minor, meaning somebody that is below, you have a life insurance, but you have a term insurance, okay? Well, term insurance is better than not having, but it's not good enough, because once you outlive it, it's of no use. And it won't be of benefit. When we get to the strategies for the solution, I will touch on it. Or you use a minor as a beneficiary. What do I mean by that? If you have life insurance and you say, who are the beneficiaries? You put your children there. If you pass and your children are still underage, they can't claim the money. That money will have to pass through the court. The court will have to appoint a guardian to oversee your money, and all sorts of fees and things. It will be very stressful. You can avoid it by just being enlightened and do it differently. The details, I will speak to it when I'm talking about solution. Then that's number 4. And I said age appropriate, okay? Life insurance. If you listen to the podcast, this is some of the things I could not explain in the podcast that you watched, you're right? My very good friend now, Lamide from the UK, a podcast, I spoke about the fact that, my own children, when they were teenagers, that's where we got life insurance for them. Over time, while we were sleeping and just waking up, because we took that step then, how much did it cost? Very little. That is a sign of financial literacy. By the time they became young adults, we handed to them policy with thousands of dollars in fund value. Can you see that? Okay. But you don't have it. You have never done it. Nobody has done it. It's a sign of financial literacy in that. And it is multi-generational. Number 5, no value for and little or no investment in acquiring practical financial literacy. You only have academic and professional qualification, just like I had before. But you can't point to say, this is one heavy investment I made in myself. You can't tick it that, this year I made this. If I tell you, after all of the investment we made in our children, if I tell you how much my own son has spent on himself to acquire financial literacy, in addition to all that the father has taught him, you simply will not believe. Why? Because he inherited from his parents the value of investing in financial literacy. Okay? But if you don't, and you have, it is a sign. Nobody really got any serious consultant in your family. You've never paid for one. I will share my own when we get to that, right? Those are signs. There are 5 to be covered in our, paid boot camp, and we will get into it with question and answer and things like that. I will answer your questions today, okay, as much as we can within the time allotted, but more to come on that. These 5, if they are there, then there is sign. So let's do our poll here, okay? This is the poll. This is the question, and you are going to vote inside this thing, inside the chat room. How many of the 5 symptoms are currently in your family, and how many do you want to remain? This is the way to vote. Look at the example. Just put your first name, your city, and then the number of symptoms that is there, and the one you want to remain. Look at the example. This is me, and this is my true vote. Okay, for me, I'm in Toronto. Out of those 5, 0, none of those symptoms is in my family again. All of them used to be there. And then how many do I want there? Of course, 0. So please quickly do the vote. Okay, I am watching the chat room quickly before we continue. Your name, the city, and then how many symptoms out of those 5. If there are 5, just put 5, comma, and you don't want the 5 to remain, just say 5, comma, 0. Okay. If it is 3 out of 5, say 3. And if you want 1 to still remain, put 3, 1. Your name, city. Are we voting? Very quickly. I want to see that poll now. Let's go. Let's go quickly. All right. Let's go, please. Yep. Thank you. I think you understand it. The instruction is clear. Thank you. All right. I want to see the vote. Thank you. I'm seeing the vote. I'm seeing the vote. First name. Thank you. Wow. Everybody wants 0 to remain. Whoa. You truly love your family. I'm proud of you. This guy. Wow. 0. Said all the 5 are there, but I want 0. All the 5 are there, but I want 0. Yeah. I hear you. Wow. 4. Someone said 3, but he wants 0 to remain. Wow, somebody said 3, 0 to remain. 4, 0 to remain. Why is this important? It's just like any sickness. Once you can diagnose the right, you know the solution is half. When I was in MBA, thank you, Helen. I'm so proud of you. 0 to remain, 0. Okay, to remain. 0 to remain. But Henry, you didn't tell us how many are there now, but you said 0 to remain. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. I will give you 30 seconds more if you have not voted. Okay, somebody said all are there. All right. What is the value of a day like this? A value of a day like this is that you have become conscious of something. It's like if somebody has cancer and they has never gone to the cancer is at stage 1, and you didn't go for checkup. What will happen to the cancer? It grows from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. If you go for a checkup at stage 2 and they say, you have cancer, it's stage 2. From that day on, the person will start the treatment. It becomes conscious. That's exactly what I'm doing for you. You are now conscious that, whoa, there are symptoms of multigenerational illiteracy in my family. They are there. We can't deceive ourselves. 5 of them were present. But when we are going to cover the other 5 and what to do about them, we will. Okay, so look at it. Thank you. Okay, they want to erase all. All right, thank you very much. I will close the poll and I will go because of our time. Okay, Thank you very much. I'll close the poll. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let me quickly go on. All right. And I want to go to our next. Okay, good. All right. Let's talk about, we've done the poll, right? Okay, thank you. Let me talk about the playbook for winning the money game. The playbook. The playbook means there is a pathway you can follow. I laid it out in this book. Okay, this is my gift to mankind. It's going all over the world. Okay, it is written. It's called Winning the Money Game with Dignity. I know that people have been asking questions. How can we get it? How can we get it? It is coming. Just hold on. I will tell you, it is coming. We are working very hard to make sure that this book, you get it everywhere. Everyone who reads this book and practices what it is there is guaranteed you will escape poverty. Why? Because the guy who wrote this book came from, you heard it. This is a continuation of the podcast you heard, okay? And most of you who connected with us with that number, again, the number again, please don't forget, right? It's 437, okay, 607 5043. Don't call the number, just text the number. It's a WhatsApp. That's the way to connect with us. Okay. In that podcast, okay, and I want to continue that podcast, I shared that, you know, there was a time in my life that I was completely lost. I didn't know my left from my right. And so when God graciously opened my eyes and I came to understand these things, I said, no way. I must tell the world this. I have to announce this to the world. And again, our ED, thanks to her, for 4 years, I was procrastinating. I was so busy. She kept saying to me, look, if people that you read their books did not write, all these things that have helped us. You heard her. When I wasn't listening, she just started writing. She's written 6 books. If you go to Amazon and you put her name, Wesley Ogude, Remy Wesley Ogude, you will see her books there. You know, real estate and all. She's written, you know, she said, you write. I can't tell your story. All right. But today, finally, this is a roadmap. It's in print, it's in ebook, and so on and so forth. And for those who can access Amazon, you can access it. You will learn some things that I guarantee you won't learn anywhere. You will see how money is a game. You will see the rule. You will see the different players. You will see why billions of people cannot, you know, they lose the game. You will see what truly creates true wealth. You will see the the skill set that you need to. The poll we conducted today showed you something, that something is wrong in your family, okay? All right? It doesn't mean that it's a bad family. It does mean that there are certain things, gaps that you have not covered. And my expectation is that you will go back and say, hey, I need to cover that gap because I've seen a way I can do it. But we don't want it to be lost. Yeah, everybody can afford a book. How much is it? $50, right? Or $30 or $100 or whatever it is. Please invest in it and make sure that you get it and read it. If you go to, then let's talk about the cost. What does it cost? Multigenerational illiteracy. This is Lamide. So it's, again, I said it, this is a continuation of the podcast that Lamide Elizabeth came to do in Canada. I was the host, I was the guest rather, and this was my host. Now, she opened her mouth when she asked a question. In this picture, she was shocked. And what was the question she asked me? After I told her my humble story, which most of you know by now, again, if you are new to this community, to this podcast, to this webinar today, or you are listening to this in YouTube and you want to join our community, all over the world, we have over 700 people there, right? Now, and on a daily basis, average of about 40 people are joining that community. It is, the number again is 437-607-5043. Again, is 437-607-5043. Now, why did the host open her mouth like this? She asked a question. She said, how many of you are in the family? And I told her we were 12. She opened her mouth. Now, the reason I brought this up is this. Why did she open her mouth? Because she understood the implication. But as much as my father was a loving man, I have very loving parents. I will never speak ill of my parents. What Lamide understood, that is the cost of having a large family, they probably didn't understand it. Opened her mouth and she was, what? 12? In such a they do that, it was their level of understanding. Did they mean well? Yeah, they meant well, but they didn't understand it. So there was a cost. What was the cost? If you listen to that podcast, if you have not seen it, please go back to that podcast, okay? All right? It's on our YouTube channel, High Income to Wealth. You can see it. She shared it with us. Our own channel. What is Lamide's channel now? I think Building Wealth Without Borders, something like that, right? If you are listening to this on YouTube, you can check it on our channel. So I talked about it extensively. It's a cost. Having those 12 children cost us. What was the cost? We struggled with poverty. Okay, growing up, we struggled for everything, including the space we will sleep on bed. We will sleep side by side like sardine fish, packed together. Okay.
How would that mean if we remove
this? Please mute. Okay. So, what are the costs of multi-generational financial illiteracy? Okay. One, perpetual financial struggle. The rat race continues from generation to generation. Number two, you are raising your children to replace you in the labor market. That's what it's saying. Does it mean that children should not go and work? They should go and work. My children are working 9 to 5. But their entire play is not just the 9 to 5. They are developing other skills because there is the family business. Okay. You somebody has to determine, I experience all of it, your pay, they will determine layoff. I have been laid off.
Oh, so sorry. I think we lost
okay, I'm back. I'm back.
I think it has network issues.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I'm talking about the cost. It's a very costly thing. That financial literacy is costly. They're going to raise the children to, and they are going to experience all of these things.
I think it's frozen again.
The challenge is this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Maria, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
The challenge is this. You experience layoff.
Yes, we can hear you.
You experience layoff. Somebody determine your pay. You experience unemployment. You experience all of these things. Okay, well, you didn't have a choice in your own generation. Now, if you don't solve that multi-generational problem, your children will experience that again. And they will not have option. It's not that my children can't have unemployment today. It's not that they can't lay them off. But if they lay them off from their job today, okay. The pain will not be like my own pain when they laid me off because I had no choice, no place to go, right? Okay, number 3 is you'll be living to make a living from generation to generation. They just living to make a living. Your employer will control, you will live through all the best years of your life. The money game is played in 4 quarters. You have listened to me say it. It's 40 years from 25 to 65. Those are the best productive years of your life. And if you sell all those years, you sell them, you didn't gain your financial freedom. Okay, you have lived life just earning a living. You didn't have number. Then from Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That is why we have done free webinar on Q1. Free on free webinar on Q2. So it's not like we just want to sell courses. No, of course we can't give everything free, right? We can't. It violates the money game rule. But we have given enough free to give you, to sensitize you, to make you know what I did not know. When I was the age of 40, I did not know. My children now, the asset my children are acquiring, where they are in their process now, at the age of 40, I was not there. I was not there. Today, I didn't know 10% of what they know today. I did not know that at the age of 40 about wealth. I didn't know that. So you can see that. I was just living for it. And to make matters worse, you heard the ED. The ED was talking about the fact that, if you are trying to get your spouse and your spouse is not cooperating and blah, blah, blah. Look, it's real, because when she was trying to get me to think otherwise, it brought conflicts because I didn't understand. I was pushing back on her. I felt insulted. You heard it in the podcast. I felt insulted. But no more today. No more today. She told me we were not wealthy. Today, I understand we were not wealthy. We were high income earners. A high income is not wealth. So you can see, because I had no freedom. I've told you about the story of my 17 years. I had no freedom. Today, by the very special grace of God, I live life on my own terms. I sleep when I want to go to bed. I wake up when I want to wake up. I do what I want to do. You heard me at the beginning of this. I said, this is one of my best periods in life. Why? Because I have opportunity to change people's lives. Sitting down there as a CFO and trying to struggle for the next bonus that the CRA, that is the Canada Revenue Agency, will take 50% of it, and I will not be able to sleep at home. But today, by God's grace, I make more money while I'm sleeping. Money is being made all over the world. It's a better thing. Okay, so if you just, that's the cost. It's going to cost that person. The next thing is going to cost you is your freedom and the freedom of your family. I told you the story of I wanted to take my children for 3 weeks. It took 2 years to get the permission. Today, by God's grace, I can disappear for 1 month. All I need to do, the only person that I need approval for is that ED. Say, Daddy, I need to go. Once he says, okay, I'm gone. That's it. Right? Freedom. And my children know this. They've seen it. And they are working much faster. They will get to where we got to today, much faster. But if you do not, it will cost them that. The last one is underdeveloped and untapped family potential. My children today, the thing they do in the family, you've heard me in that podcast. I said my daughter is a member of our boardroom today. She understands boardroom. She understands what the issues are. She understands strategy. She understands how to grow the business. Let me tell you a story very quickly. My daughter wanted to start work, our last daughter. She trained as a registered nurse. And the weekend she was about to resume work, I saw her sitting at the dining table. And she had a laptop and a calculator. So then I asked her, sweetie, that's what I call her. I said, sweetie, what are you doing? I see that, but you have not started work. You look like you brought work from home and you're looking serious. She said, oh, Daddy, I'm trying to calculate something. I'm like, what are you calculating? She said, I'm trying to calculate how much I need to retire. Do you see that? Do you see the mindset? Before she started work. Why? Because, so today they have, so if you don't, it will cost them all that skill, that thinking, that exposure. It will cost them. All they will do is IT until they retire. They retire. VP IT, nothing else. VP marketing, nothing else. Are we saying that VP skill of marketing is not good? We're not saying it's not good, but there are many more skills that they could have, We'll cover the rest because of my time in the bootcamp that will come. Watch out for it when we advertise it, okay? So, how do you mitigate it, okay? I'm wrapping up now. The time, I want all of you to please repeat this after me. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Can you say that?
The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining.
Yeah.
Don't leave
this webinar today.
Time to repair the roof is when.
Yeah, that was J.F. Kennedy, the 35th US president, as the one that said that. How is that relevant to you? Today, you assessed that there is a symptom in your family. If you walk away from this webinar or you watch this and you did absolutely nothing, you have not done your family well and you have not done your future well. Why? Because the time to repair the roof, now you know they brought it to your attention that this roof is leaking. Oh, it has been leaking from the days of your forefathers. They didn't know what you have come to know in this 1 hour, 1.5 hours. The time to repair it is now. They will announce all sorts of, options, programs, tap into one. Don't go with the mentality, oh, they just want to take our money. I used to have that mentality. It's a poor man mentality. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's go to mitigation. Number 1, mitigation. Okay. Number 1, learn how to transition quadrants. This is covered in our foundation cohort. Maria will speak to it. They will show you how to transition quadrants. In other words, how to solve some of those symptoms. The first one we talked about, that all you know in the family is just everybody working for money. When you transition quadrant, you transition from E and S quadrant, where you work for money, to B and I quadrant, where you learn how to create team to work on your behalf and how money works for you. It will be covered extensively there. Now, learn to be familiar with the rules of winning the money game, okay? Never, stop. Now, never wait. Stop being a spectator. If you don't know who a spectator is in the money game, don't worry. When you get that book, you will read it extensively. Stop being a spectator. You got to be in the game. Number 3, learn the power of building your wealth team. Again, in the foundation cohort, you are taught how to build your wealth team step by step. Where do I get them? Which asset class am I? If you are using, there are 4 asset classes that create wealth. Let me give you a little bit of depth. My time is up. There are 4 asset classes that create wealth: real estate, business, commodities, and paper assets. Those 4 asset classes, the team, if you want to use real estate, the team you will build will be different. If you want to use business, the team you will build will be different. If you want to use paper asset, the team you will build will be different. All of that, they are covered in the foundation cohort. Of course, I can go into all of that here. Number 4, be familiar with insurance policies. I'm giving you strategies now and how to build wealth with them. I just gave you an example. Our own insurance policy, the cash value in it, we use that cash value to create an insurance policy is paper assets, okay? Paper assets. We built it and used that cash value to create another asset class. Whoa, my God. I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is how you can really create money out of, learn it. If all the insurance policy you have is the one your employer put in place for you, okay, you are under an illusion. You know, the one the employer put in place for you, and you don't have your own, the day they terminate your employment, it is gone. So if you work there for 15 years, you joined the company when you were 35, and you work for 15 years, and you say, don't worry, my employer has put it in place for me. And they fire you when you were 50, that insurance is gone because it's a term insurance, it's tied to you. And now at 50 years old, you can't get life insurance again. I hope that really sinks into somebody. Why is that important, life insurance? Wealthy people, when they pass, they inject cash into their estates. When I pass today, the money that will come into our estate, cash, when I pass, my debt will trigger cash into our family wealth. That's what wealthy people do. Do you know what poor people, middle class people, their debt causes financial crisis? It's a sign of financial illiteracy, and it goes from generation to generation. All right. So the last one is place high value, heavy value value financial literacy. Invest in it heavily. I can't say it enough. Okay? If that sounds to you like, oh, it's soliciting for us to come and enroll for their course, then that thinking alone is the mindset problem that will keep such a person in multi-generational poverty. Why? Because the foundation cohort alone, in my own case, I will show you some of the investment I made. I now took all of those things and I distilled them for you to cover what we cover in the foundation course. You will need at least 4 professionals. You will need an accountant, you will need a lawyer, you will need a business strategist, and then you will need somebody who has created wealth to be able to get what is in that foundation. Okay? So invest in yourself. Why am I able to do that? And I said it today. Okay? I'm able to do that today by God's grace. To speak to me today as a consultant, it's not cheap. Why? Because I place value on my financial literacy. And what does that look like? Let me quickly go here. Look, I'm rounding up now. Value deep dive. Deep dive. It's good to listen to podcasts like this and things like that. They will open your eyes. Today, everybody, you voted, you say, oh my God, so we have multi-generational illiteracy in my family. I've seen that symptom. That is good. But like somebody diagnosed of cancer, then you go for rigorous chemotherapy. If you leave it like that. So let me give you an example of deep dive. Look at this. You need to obey one of the laws of creating wealth. It's called the law of mentorship. You need to do deep dive. Let me give you an example. Before I went for MBA in Nigeria, in Canada, there's something they call MBA in one day. This is what you are attending, MBA in one day. You know what MBA in one day means? They are trying to give you an idea of what the MBA program looks like. But MBA in one day is not the same as MBA. The real MBA at Queen's, after I attended MBA one day, I'm like, oh my God, I've seen the potential what this can do for me now. If that's all I did, and I did not enroll for the MBA itself, the MBA, when I went for it, it took me 18 months. That's deep dive. Then the real value of MBA came. What am I saying? You attended the free webinar, but you didn't go for the real deep dive, the foundation core, this thing that you didn't go for any of that. You just attended MBA in one day. You can't operate at MBA level. Never. Number 2, deep dive are different. Deep dive are different from watching online videos and free webinar. In my own deep dive, 15,000 was what I paid. I have said it in podcast. This is a continuation of that podcast. I paid it. The name of the guy is called Andy Fernando. That's the name of the guy. $15,000. He will watch this one day. Today he looks at me now. I can imagine the very first time he came around. I was skeptical. I was thinking, my wife and I said, okay, what option do we have? What options do we have? I paid the 15,000. The second one is I paid another 45,000. The MBA cost me 85,000. So when I'm talking by God's grace today, 10,000 people are listening. It is because of those investments. Deep dive. So they tell you to enroll for foundation cohort for 1,000 or 2,000, and you don't value yourself that much. Okay. You say, okay, the free one is okay. That's MBA in one day. Let me wrap up. Let's do this. The other avenue you have is to partner with people who are already doing it. And again, they will announce FRO. What does that mean? It's a strategic partnership. One other way you can get into business is to look at somebody who is already in business and partner with the person. So we open that opportunity for our community for them to be FRO partners. Maria will speak to it. But let me tell you that today, if you want to buy this Winning the Money game anywhere in the world, after some time, you can buy it through our FRO partners. Look at this podcast. Somebody said, I bought his book in the first 1 minute of listening. So I bought his book. Now, if this person that wants to buy the book is in Jamaica. He will buy the book through Grace Perkins. He's a member of the FRO. How you join the FRO? We do we have a lot of training exclusively because they are our business partner. Excuse me, if I were you, I would jump at it. Even for the training and the exposure alone, we're going to expose them to various ways of logistics around the world because this book is going all around the world. And those FRO partner, Agnes Kadama in Kampala, Uganda, is the FRO partner. If you want to get this book in Uganda today, it's Agnes. Azuka Makinde, Lagos Island. They might be on this, call today. These are our FRO partners. Okay, they partner, and we are going to train them. We are going to expose them. We can't expose you to what we will expose them to. That's another partner. That's the way I started to partner with somebody. I was a passive partner. He didn't have money. I put my money down. He started teaching me real estate. The rest is history. Today, by the grace of God, I have the skill. We've bought millions of dollars of real estate without $1 of my money. All right. So that is the solution. Those are the practical strategy. Maria, on this note, I will turn it over to you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for that insightful and powerful session, I must say. Thank you. And also the Executive Director, Remy Wesley Ogude. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us. So quickly, before we move into the Q&A segment, because I know we all have lots of questions. I've been seeing quite a number of questions in the chat room. And we also receive questions when we ask people to register for the free webinar. So before we move into the Q&A segment, I actually have just a few pieces of info about the upcoming cohorts. Okay, like you already know, our website is www.highincometowealth.com. So you can get more information about what we do and what we're about at this website. Also, we are on social media. For those people that are not familiar, Simon will be dropping the link to our handles in the chat room. So we are on YouTube. On YouTube, you have access to free webinar videos, like something that we've done like this. Like this webinar video will be available on our YouTube channel later. So you can catch up in case you missed maybe any point. Then we're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram and also on LinkedIn. So just search for High Income to Wealth. Then also for those people that are not part of our WhatsApp community, I must say that you're missing a lot. So in our WhatsApp community, we get to share upcoming programs. That's where we share invites for our webinars, podcasts, free resources, weekly insights, exclusive opportunities, like the one the lead consultant mentioned, the FRO opportunity. That's the first reader opportunity. In the WhatsApp community, you get all that info. And for our upcoming events in August, that's when we have our summer foundation cohort and our intermediate cohort. I'll be sharing the details for that right away. So this is the schedule for our foundation cohort. Our foundation cohort will be, it's actually a 5-day intensive training, but spread across 3 weeks. So week 1, which is Friday, August 7th, it's usually from 9 a.m. Eastern time. Then week 2 is August 14 and 15. Week 3, August 28 and 29. That's for the foundation cohort. Then for those people that have gone through the foundation cohort, the next level is intermediate cohort. So pretty much the prerequisite for intermediate cohort is you must have gone through the foundation cohort before you can participate in the intermediate cohort. So it's also going to run the same period concurrently, but for the intermediate cohort, it's going to be from 2 p.m. Eastern time. Then if you don't want to go through the foundation cohort or intermediate cohort, you want an executive one-on-one with Dr. Wesley, Simeon is going to drop a link in the chat room. So you can just send me a message and I'll just help you with the onboarding process for the executive one-on-one. Then now, for some people that wonder, what would you learn? The CEO mentioned quite a number of them. So what will you learn in the foundation cohort? In the foundation cohort, you get to learn the 4 timeless asset classes. Like he mentioned, the 4 asset classes: business, commodity, paper assets, and real estate. You know, in the chat room, someone was saying that I want to go into agriculture. Guess what? Agriculture falls into one of the asset classes. At the training, you get to find out the 4 asset classes used by wealthy people across different countries, economic circles, and generation to build and preserve lasting wealth. Then I'm sure you've heard the CEO talk about, I don't pay tax. And most people are wondering, how is it possible that you don't pay, like you pay 0 tax? Very, very impossible. Very, very possible, right? So you get to learn at the foundation course, you learn tax optimization and wealth protection. You learn the strategies to legally protect your wealth and minimize tax liabilities at the foundation course. Then also at the foundation course, you learn the 3 powerful wealth forces. You understand the forces behind wealth creation and how to activate them in your own journey. Then you also learn the proven wealth building templates. You have access to practical tools, blueprints not taught in school, designed to help you fast track your financial goals. Trust me, the foundation course is really loaded. And you can't get everything in just the free webinar. Then for those people that have done the foundation course, in case you're wondering, what's the intermediate course? I know most times when people go through the foundation course, they feel like, I think I've gotten a lot. But guess what? That's just like a starting point. Now, at the intermediate course, you get to learn the 5 financial IQs that create wealth. Then you will also expose you to how you can use the 5 financial IQs to achieve wealth. Then also, you get to learn how to create wealth with the 4 asset classes using the 5 financial IQs. Then how to use corporate structure to build wealth, building tax-free wealth, and also how to access OPM to accelerate wealth. He had the lead consultant said that he built his real estate portfolio without using his money. Wow, guess what? You get to learn how to do that too at the intermediate course. And for those that are interested in the foundation course is 1,300 USD. Actually, the regular price is 1,500 USD. But for those people that are part of this presentation today, you get to pay $1,300 instead of paying 1,500. The next slide shows you the payment link. So you can scan this. And Simeon, can you help us drop the link in the chat room for those people that want to sign up for the foundation course? The CEO would always say it's very important for you to invest in your financial education. It's very important because it's not just for you, it's also for your posterity, it's also for the rising generation. It's very, very important that you invest in your financial education. Then now, winning the money game with dignity. Like we already know, our lead consultant, Dr. Wesley Ogude, he has a book on Amazon. It's called Winning the Money Game with Dignity. And it might interest you to know that this book has actually gone to different countries. US, we have readers from the US, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, Japan, Belgium. And guess what? The countries keep increasing. And now, the next slide talks about the first reader opportunity. Now, the first reader opportunity is an initiative that we introduced to our community to help people, because we discovered that most people in some part of the world do not have access to this book. So this program actually helps to, train people in those regions or maybe even in any country to be part of this program. Now, there are several benefits, but I'll just go through some of the benefits of joining the FRO program. Now, as an FRO partner, you become the exclusive distributor of the book in your region. So you get the book for, of course, at a reduced rate, then you set the margin and you sell at any amount. Now you also become an international, this actually also exposes you to become an international partner, and you collaborate with us as an FRO team member, helps you with global scaling strategies because you get to learn. There's an opportunity for training. It also exposes you to universal marketing exposure, then brand ambassador status. If you notice during the CEO's presentation, he mentioned some people. So most times when people say, oh, I want to get this book in Nigeria, there's somebody I refer them to. So you become that person when you become a first reader, when you become an FRO partner. Now, the rules of the money game, the CEO always emphasizes the rules of the money game. As an FRO partner, during the training, you'll be exposed to these rules. And of course, you know how to apply them in your own personal journey. then also this opportunity gives you the opportunity to, you know, start up something, you know. Then also we get to teach you tax optimization strategy. Then of course, if we are planning to do like host a live seminar in your region, guess who will be the contact person? The FRO partner. So this is an opportunity. And I want to advise that if you are in the community, you should take advantage of the FRO partnership. And the link for registration to join the waiting list will be shared in the chat room. So please look out for that link. Then also, this is my contact detail. You can, if you have, for those people that have questions, or maybe you want to be part of the program, you can reach me via email. These are my numbers. You can chat me on WhatsApp or you can call me. Thank you so much. Now we can move quickly to the Q&A segment because I can see a lot of questions in the chat room, and I'm sure we are eager to take those sessions.
Order with Global and track it to receive it.
Please mute your mic, please. Please help us do that quickly. All right, so we're gonna start by taking some questions in the chat room. I mean, we had quite a number of them. Let me see the first one. Okay. I'm trying to get to the chat. Okay, let me just take the ones from the ones we received from people that signed up for this training. The first question is, what is the best strategy, a irrevocable trust or irrevocable trust, maybe revocable trust or irrevocable trust? So that's the first question. What's the best strategy?
All right, thank you very much. So I told you guys that every game is played at different levels. Okay, when you get to trust and revocable, irrevocable, you are at the very top level of playing the wealth game. It's not for beginners. I should sound that caution. But let me answer the question. A revocable trust, which is called a living trust, means that trust, while you are alive, okay, you can change it, you can modify it, you can even cancel it. But an irrevocable trust, once you put it in place, is fixed. You can't change it again. That's the fundamental difference. Okay? Next question.
Okay. All right, the next question says, do you have to be a high income earner to do a living trust? If you have a mortgage property, can that be placed in a living trust? How can one avoid paying tax in the UK?
Okay, that's very good. Again, right? I told you people about, MBA one day, okay? Let me just say this. Let me answer the question straight. If you are not a high income earner, will a living trust be relevant to you? The answer is, do you have assets? Okay, that is valuable. Okay, if the answer is yes, can you afford the training so that you can do the living trust properly? If you don't do the living trust properly, it will create more problem than solution. And I always sound the caution. This is the statistics, and I will give you free of charge. 80% of all living trusts, the beneficiary said, is a burden to their life, not a solution. And it has caused a lot of troubles. Okay? I always tell people that, yes, that is very true. It will cause trouble because if you buy a car and you don't learn how to drive, you will hit an accident. Okay? So the question is, do I have enough resources to get the proper training? If that is yes, if it is one property you have, the training will educate you. Not only you, will educate your beneficiaries, and then you will do it properly and you'll be okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. So the next question says, what's your take on venture capital? And also, how can a financial advisor in the US translate to more in terms of growth parts?
Good. A financial advisor is okay, let me first talk about venture capital. Okay, venture capitalists are in the I quadrant. They take what is called asymmetric risk. Okay, that's what they take. What is asymmetric risk? Asymmetric risk is like, we are venture capitalists in our own family. Okay, venture capitalist investment just means that there is this capital that I can afford to lose it. Okay, but if I put it in something and it wins, I will win big. That's what wealthy people do, ultra wealthy. So they vote a portion of their wealth, which they can use for that. Okay, so that's what, you know, venture capitalist investment means. It's usually people in the I quadrant. Let me answer it. If you are a broker, right? You said, what kind of broker is that? Is that an insurance broker or a mortgage broker? But whatever it is, if you're a broker, you are in the you are in the S quadrant. You are in the S quadrant. And the way you can, whoever is that person, I will recommend, if you can afford it, join the cohort in summer, in August, I think 2 weeks from now. It will be covered extensively. You're in the S quadrant. In the S quadrant, you cannot scale. You can't scale, okay? You can't scale, okay? The only way you can scale is that you need to form a team, some multi-marketing, multi-marketing company, they do that. And multi-layer marketing is an attempt for you to use the power of team, and it works. For full disclosure, I have been a licensed mutual fund seller. I have been a licensed insurance. I don't sell insurance for we don't do that business. But I'm just saying to you that I'm very familiar with it. There were things that I dabbled into when I was lost. I was looking for the path to wealth until God had mercy and we had a clear path, which I have not documented for everybody, because I don't want everybody to be lost the way I was lost. So you need to scale up. And the way you need to scale up is to build team. Okay, but I will say this to you because I said it to our own broker. If you are still there and you are building income and you have not built one of those 4 asset classes, you are not creating wealth. So how do you do that? Take that, your commission or whatever you are doing, go and train on how to build proper wealth and be diverting it, be investing it into one of those 4 asset classes. Long after your career is over, the wealth will still be there. A popular example I used to, Maradona died poor. Okay, Maradona, okay, died poor. But there was a time he was earning a lot. When you attend our foundation cohort, we did study about the history of people who have earned high income and how they became very, very poor. Why? They didn't understand that 4 asset classes. And I talked about trust. Let me go back to that trust because that's an example I should have given you. Michael Jackson tried to use a trust. Up to today, his case is still in court because he didn't understand it. So I caution, and God is my witness. Even though I talk about these things, I always caution people, please get knowledge before you dabble into it. So it's the same thing for that person who is a commission earner. You need to train on how to create true wealth. Otherwise, you will earn high commission, and when that career is over, you are just like a footballer. Many footballers die poor. After that, because of their high income earners, high income and wealth, they are not the same. All right, go ahead. Next.
Next question. Financially investing in multiple strategic citizenship are becoming an increasingly important pillar of long-term wealth building. What are your thoughts?
Very good. Multiple citizenship is very good. It gives you access to countries. But let me tell you, the fact that you have access to travel into different countries will not make you wealthy. It will not make you wealthy. There are poor people in the US who eat from garbage. There are poor people in Canada who eat from government. So that is not it is an investment in the sense that it gives you access to those countries. But when you get to those countries, what are you going to do? You need to learn how to create wealth in those countries. Next question.
Okay, next question is, okay, this person is talking about, okay, during your presentation, you talked about life insurance. It says, what about those that are in Africa that don't have a functional life insurance? That's the question.
Okay, listen to me. In Africa, there are life insurance companies, and they have been there before they gave birth to me, and they are still there. Okay, I went to Kenya. You heard the ED was talking that we have the privilege to travel all around the world. Those are our FRO partners. We are coming to all of your countries by God's grace. Over time, we are coming to most of those countries, and you will be our contact person and things like that. So we've been traveling. I went to Kenya to speak. You know the question they asked me? They told me that when my guest was inviting me, he said to me, he said, Wesley, you would need to modify your all those things about, mortgage and all those things. It's not in Kenya. I laughed. The reason I laugh is this. When I enter a city and I just look at the neighborhood, because I'm familiar with how wealth is created, I know that there are certain things cannot be in there. I can't see them unless certain things are existing. So when you go to Nairobi, you will see high-rise buildings. You will see communities that are just new communities. So there are property developers there. And those property developers, they use OPM, other people's money. And the high-rise buildings, they use syndication. We've done syndication in the US. We invested about 800 units of apartment in the US. So the person who said in Africa that there is no insurance, you are not in the game. There is insurance there, but it's for the big boys. And they pay death benefit. If they don't pay benefit, they won't be in business. So that person told me that there is no mortgage. You know what I did? I went to Kenya and I showed them the top mortgage institutions. I showed them and I put side by side the requirement in the West for mortgage. And I put side by side the requirement for mortgage in Nairobi. It's just a few differences. So there is insurance. Insurance companies have been in Nigeria for many, 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 many years. They are. You just need to know your game. Okay? Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, this question is from Richard from Dubai. It says, is the traditional bank savings account really ineffective in wealth building as claimed by most financial experts? What risk-free approaches to saving suits a conservative person?
Okay, very good, very good. Now, saving and investing are not the same. In the School of Wealth, we say savers are losers. Savers are losers. I will say it again, savers are losers. Okay? Saving money and investing money are not the same. Now, I understand where this person is coming from. Okay, when you save money, you are trying to accumulate money. And when you do that, okay, the people who are speaking to you about all of those savings and all of those things, they are paper assets. They are called paper assets, all of them. Bonds, shares, ETF, fixed deposit, and they're all paper assets, okay? And those paper assets are safer. One is safer than the other, okay? Right? But saving itself, when you put your money in saving, what the bank would do, again, I'm an ex-banker. Not just that, I'm a certified, trained, qualified, chartered banker. So I talk professionally, okay? When you put your money in savings accounts, the bank takes it and lends it out. They don't put it in the vault. The people they lend it out to, they invest. That's why you are a loser. So you need to transition from being the saver to the investor. So when I said we use, in our foundation cohort, we cover, I think it's foundation or intermediate, I don't remember. We cover OPM, or using other people's money. Our family, by God's grace, we are experts in that, using other people's money. You remember I told you I paid 45,000. That's what I went to learn. The guy disclosed it to me right away. It doesn't come cheap. But if you save money alone, if all you do is save money alone, the money will be there. The inflation may even be higher than the interest they are paying you. That's why it is called a losing game. Okay? But the person also asked, what are some conservative investments you can put it in? Paper asset, there are some paper assets, there are some bonds you can put your money in, very safe bonds. Bonds mean that bonds are loans to corporate body and government. That they pay interest rates that are higher than savings account and they are relatively safe. We cover this extensively in the foundation cohort. Go ahead, please. Next question.
All right, next questions. So whether you're in North America, Europe, or Britain, how do you get around paying the lowest rate of taxes on an inheritance?
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable putting all of my inheritance into the stock market. I want to be able to live off the interest too. What are the best ways to store liquid with an inheritance?
Okay, that's fine. The best way to do is to transition the inheritance from the E quadrant to the I quadrant. Simple.
Hello?
And can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Maria?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right, Maria, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
We have to draw the curtain because it's 2 minutes to 1. Okay, so we can carry can carry over some of the other questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
Is that okay? But let me finish this.
Okay, let's take one last. Okay,
all right. Let me finish this one. The best way to do it is to transition that inheritance from the E quadrant to transition it to the B and to the I quadrants and put it under a corporate structure. You will enjoy tax benefit. You will protect it very well. That's what we have taught our children. They won't pay taxes on our inheritance. They will not pay taxes. That's the truth. Okay? But MBA in one day will not cover that. You will need to really understand some deep secret of the money game. All right? But that is essentially what you need to do.
Okay. Let me just give you the last one. It says, I'm a real estate investor, high income earner looking to consolidate my portfolio. What's the best advice you have for me?
Okay, for number one, I don't know what portfolio you are talking about. Okay, you're a real estate investor. I don't know what kind of portfolio you have. I don't know what kind of, number one, in our business, we don't advise. We tell you what you need to know so that you will know what you need to do. Like I said in the podcast, this will be our final question. I do apologize. And, Maria, I got to go, right? So I don't have all the facts, but the best way to do real estate is this. You need to understand what type of real estate, because different types, and we cover it extensively in foundation cohort. What type of real estate? Real estates, they are different. There are some real estate will give you 3 things. Okay, real estate. There are 3 things it will give you. It will give you either cash flow. It will give you either cash flow, or it will give you capital gain, or it will give you leverage. Those are the 3 things. There are certain asset classes that will give you 1 or 2 of it, and so on and so forth. You need to know which of them. Then you will know how to consolidate. So if it is cash flow you're looking for, but what you currently have is giving you only capital gain, meaning it's not putting money in your pocket, you are hoping it will rise in future, then consolidation means that you need to restructure that portfolio, sell those ones off, and enter into the one that will give you cash flow, and so on and so forth. But I can't specifically tell because I don't know the components of your portfolio. On that note, Maria, I will need to thank you, everybody. I think this is enough for charity.
Thank you, Dr. Wesley.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you all. Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. You already have my contact, so Senior, please drop it again in the chat room. So if you have for more inquiries about our foundation cohort, intermediate cohort, executive 101, consultation with Dr. Wesley, and if you have questions that you want him to answer, please send them directly just send it to me directly on WhatsApp, and I'll be able to connect you with him and also expose you to the program that would work for you and to definitely help you solve your money problems too. All right, on that note, we'll be drawing a curtain on today's webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. That's if you're in Lagos like myself, or maybe the rest of your day for others. Thank you everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.